So far, the remains of about 2,000 of our ancestors have been found by archaeologists worldwide. These fossils represent the source of practically everything we know about these ancestors. Most of these findings are from the past 100,000 years. Hardly anything has been found from the 6 million years prior to that. Entire skeletons have hardly ever been discovered. In most cases, it was only skull fragments or teeth that were excavated. Let's take a look at the major milestones in human evolution. During phylogenesis about 6 million years ago, the evolutionary path of chimpanzees and the ancestors to humans forked. Therefore, we can state that humans are not descended from apes. We just share a common ancestor. About 3.5 million years ago, the so-called southern apes evolved from this common ancestor. They were no longer living in trees, but learned to walk bipedally, though this proved quite challenging for them. They never left the safety of the African jungle. Apart from plants, their diet included meat as well. However, they did not hunt just yet. They only ate carrion, but consuming meat aided in their evolution, thus aiding them in rising above apes. Their skull was barely larger than that of chimpanzees. They are considered to be the first ones to use tools. However, they did not use rocks, just simple twigs to perform smaller actions, and these tools were not yet modified. Simultaneously with the southern ape, 2.5 million years ago, the so-called Homo habilis, the handyman, developed. They made their tools of flint by chipping stone, giving it a sharp edge. Very useful for cutting harder pieces of fruit or carrion left by wild animals. Two million years ago, hominids spread everywhere on Earth. Besides the southern ape and Homo habilis, Homo erectus, the upright man, also appeared. During the next 500,000 years, these three genera of hominids lived alongside each other. We still do not know for certain how they might have reacted to occasionally bumping into each other. Did they become aggressive, or live peacefully side by side? Or perhaps they just eyed each other from top to bottom and walked away. We will never know, but one thing is certain. The southern ape and Homo habilis became extinct about 1.5 million years ago. So Homo erectus was left by itself for the next million years, contributing significantly to the evolution of humanity. Homo erectus, which appeared about 2 million years ago, realized that instead of chipping stones, it could create more efficient tools by polishing stone. This represented the end of the Old Stone Age, the Paleolithic Age, and the beginning of the New Stone Age, the Neolithic Age. Archaeological findings tell us that Homo erectus also hunted, an activity which involved a great deal of running. Since such physical activity resulted in a loss of heat, they lost most of their hair over thousands of years. We are certain that upright man used fire 700,000 years ago. Not only did fire help them keep wild animals away, but it also made them realize that roasted meat is easier to digest than raw meat. Due to this new type of diet, their brain began to develop more rapidly, and they acquired the power of speech, which didn't sound at all like our structured verbal communication of today. It only consisted of a few simple sounds, but no coherent sentences. This was enough to coordinate hunts. They were hardly capable of organizing their life on a higher level or contemplating the meaning of their own existence. They were the first hominid to migrate from their place of evolution, that is, from Africa. They migrated mainly along coastlines, since this was the safest route. Then came an age with an increased amount of rain, which proved to be a highly advantageous factor for this migration, making the deserts of Africa green and therefore making it possible to cross them. Homo erectus headed towards Asia and Europe, and in 25,000 years they even reached the island of Java. Actually, the island was still connected to mainland Asia at the time, and thus migration was not hindered. With the later rise in temperature, the Sahara became a desert again. The Homo erectus specimens that remained in Africa and the groups that migrated far away became separated for good. It is still debated why the groups that wandered away disappeared from the face of the earth. Perhaps it was the harsh conditions. Those in Africa had existed until about 100,000 years ago, when they too became extinct and new species appeared.